I'm 18 years old. I am a current PhD student of biomedical engineering at the University of California, Davis. I never dated anybody. I still haven't dated anybody just because I just don't see the point. The kind of man I see myself marrying in the future. The typical tall, dark, and handsome, of course, that's part of it. I like a little bit of like arrogance, just small.
Welcome to another edition of Faces of Nigeria, where we get to showcase talented individuals. I'm Temitope Popola. Today, I have an 18-year-old Nigerian girl, Nkechi Yere Chidiobolu, who is a PhD student at the University of California. Interesting, right? Well, let's find out more about this girl.
My name is Nkechi Yere Chidiobolu. I'm from Delta State. I'm 18 years old. I am a current PhD student of biomedical engineering at the University of California, Davis. And I'm also a chemical engineer. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from Howard University in Washington, D.C. this year, May 2017. I'm also an author, and I've written a book titled Tales of an Uber Minor in College, which basically talks about my experience in college from the age of 14 when I got in to the age of 18 when I graduated. And I think there's a snippet in there about like the journey to get into graduate school as well. So yeah, that's the general gist. Oh wait, so there's more. I'm a singer. I like to describe myself as a singer because I do like to sing a lot, and it's something that I think might possibly be a side career choice because it's never something that I wanted to let go. Yeah, I think now that's. I graduated from secondary school at the age of 14. Getting here, I basically took the required exams because I did want to study in the United States, and I took the required exams and I got here. How I went through college at 14, initially there was actually no fear, and there's still no fear about it. There was no like anxiety about the fact that I was 14 because I guess I had a support system at home that had instilled in us, like my mom had instilled in us, that we could do whatever we wanted, that nothing was impossible, and that confidence gave me confidence. So I never really thought about the fact that I was 14. Yeah, it was never really an issue. My age never played a part in like any of my emotions at all during that time. So I guess. But like during the journey, like obviously there were times like just for any college student, not just because I was 14, but for anybody in university, there's going to be times where you're going to doubt yourself. There's going to be times where things are going to be hard, but then I had a support system that was there. I had mentors that were there that I could talk to. I could call my mom at all hours of the night, so she would pick up the phone. I could call my dad, and he would he's a very light-hearted person and very chill, so he knows how to like break tension. So I had people that I could talk to at any point in time, so it was nice. In undergrad, I did really well in the SAT and the test of English as a foreign language, which qualified me for a scholarship given from the university. And they basically pay for tuition and room and board, and I would basically just have to pay for my food. And that was what got me through 4 years of undergrad. And now, as a PhD student, it's basically the same thing. They're paying for tuition, and then I'm getting a stipend as well. So I pay for the rest of everything else with my stipend, and yeah. People who do not know me well tend to think, once they find out that I'm this age, they tend to think that I'm very, very nerdish and that the only thing I know is book. But that's not my life at all. So my friends tend to see me as actually very, very playful. And sometimes like you would be surprised that I actually do have time to study because I'm always doing something. I'm always kind of everywhere, but at the same time in a reserved way. It's a very complicated system, the way my brain works, because I like social situations, but not too much. So like I like to keep to myself sometimes, but at the same time, like in a social situation, I would tend to like I would enjoy myself to the fullest of my ability. So I would say my friends see me as a very sassy personality who sometimes decides to just calm down once in a while. That would be my description of what they see me as. I went to the United States. I did not go with my parents. I basically went there by myself. So I could have completely gone off track. I could have ended up in a very, very bad situation, because there are some people that I know that have ended up in really bad situations, and they were much older than me. So if I was in Nigeria, I think, for one, I probably would have gone to a private university. So I guess the strike thing would not be an issue. So it's probably possible that I would have graduated at the same age. And then I would have had my family like here, like everybody would have been much closer to me. So that foundation that I said held me together when I was in the United States would have been much stronger if I was in Nigeria. So I think I would have still done really well. But I did go from chemical engineering, which I did in undergrad, to biomedical engineering now for my PhD. So maybe that transition might not have been the same thing, because even when I was saying that, when I was about to graduate with chemical engineering, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. Many people were saying I should go into the oil industry, I should work in Shell or something like that, but it wasn't really, I wasn't feeling it like that. When I was younger, I kind of wanted to be a doctor at one point, but it was like I didn't really want to be like touching anybody's body parts. I didn't want to be dealing with nobody's body fluids. It was more, I just wanted to be like kind of behind the scenes doctor, which is why the biomedical engineering research thing came about. But I don't know if that transition would have had as much of a smoother flow, because there would have been so many people that were telling me, do oil, do oil, do oil, and I maybe would have done oil. But I think with the personality that I have, I might still have done the biomedical engineering thing anyway. And then also the fact that I was on a scholarship. I was on a fully funded scholarship for undergrad, and I'm also fully funded for my PhD. That might have not been the exact same thing in Nigeria, but I do generally think that I would have still been fine. I would have done well anyway, I think. Okay, boys, members of the male persuasion. How, well, actually in my book, I actually talk a lot about like boys and how they have influenced my love life so far, even though it's not really existent. I kind of made a sort of decision, but not really like a concrete, I didn't even know I had made the decision when I was younger that I don't really want to date anybody. I can like you. I don't mind me liking you, you liking me back, and we're just going to like each other like that until whenever. And that was basically what I did. If I liked a guy, I liked a guy, and I told my mom about it. I mean, I liked him. There was nothing I could do about it. It was completely normal for me. But it never really became a distraction, because to me, it was just, I liked you. So I have other things I'm doing, though I didn't have time for that. But like, yeah, I still liked them. I don't think they ever distracted me. I mean, sometimes when they were foolish, it was very annoying, but I'll just rant my rant and it's over. Like, I have books to read. So, like, I never dated anybody. I still haven't dated anybody, just because I just don't see the point for now. Because at this point, it's like, is it really going, like, what's going to happen? I just don't see the point for now. But I mean, now that I'm doing PhD, if anybody come along and is fine, he's God-fearing, he can cook, he's tall. There are many other categories. I'll list them out later, but those are the ones on my head right now. I would like to tell the youth to be strong and keep moving forward and keep pushing, and then they shouldn't set ceilings for themselves and believe that there's something they cannot do, because once they do that, then they only try for so much. So you have to break the standards that you think society has set for you, or that you may have set for yourself, so that you can become a new standard. And never think that there's anything that's standing in your way. Never think that even if you don't have the best grades, there's something about you that's extremely spectacular. Because one thing that I believe, and one thing that I'm actually aware of, is there's a number of people that I know that have not graduated with honors, but that I would pick them as an employee in any company that I might own any day, just because they are amazing people, just because I've gotten to know them. And I think that's something that you should always keep in mind, that your grades are not necessarily everything. Develop yourself all around as a total individual, and you can always be an exception to the rule. So, and you end up being exceptional. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
Now that you've heard all about her, do you know someone with an amazing story? Why not share your story with us via info@cup.night.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Till next week, see ya.